Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're building a practical, step by step blueprint from Daniel Priestley's Oversubscribed. This is for any entrepreneur out there who is just plain tired of chasing business and is ready to build a system where the absolute best clients are chasing them. So let's start with a really powerful question. What if you could totally flip the script? What if your ideal customers were literally lined up, waiting, eager to do business with you? Now, this isn't some fantasy. It's the specific, achievable outcome this entire blueprint is designed to create. And this right here, this is the fundamental shift we're talking about. You move from being a seller who has to chase every lead to being a selector who gets to curate the best opportunities. So the big question is, how do we actually build a system that does that? Well, let's look at the blueprint. Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get super clear on the core outcome, the end goal. Then we'll get into the big idea that makes it all possible. After that, the operating system, which is kind of like the new rules of the game. Then the real need of it, the 5-phase implementation plan. We'll cover the recurring behaviors you need to turn this into a habit. And finally, we'll look at the common mistakes to avoid so you don't trip up. First things first, let's be absolutely crystal clear on the goal here. The core outcome is to create a situation where the demand for what you do massively, and I mean massively, outstrips your capacity to supply it. It's this intentional imbalance that gives you all the power, pricing power, profitability, and the freedom to do your best work, but only with your best clients. So, how in the world do you actually make that happen? Well, the big idea is this. You don't just find demand, you have to engineer it. Let's break down what that really means. You see, being oversubscribed isn't about getting lucky or catching some random market wave. Nope. It is a condition you intentionally, strategically create. Think of it as a market force that you can actually engineer and control. And when you control it, that's what directly leads to pricing power and, most importantly, serious profit. Now, to get this result, you can't play by the old rules. It just won't work. You need a completely new operating system for your business. It's built on a few core, kind of counterintuitive principles that are going to guide every single decision you make from here on out. And it all starts with defining your market. And I want to stress this, it is not about reaching everyone. Look at this little diagram. It's brilliant. Your market is that perfect sweet spot where 3 circles overlap. People who truly value what you do, people you actually want to serve, and of course, people who can pay you. You don't need the whole world. You just need more of these specific people than you can actually handle. Okay, these are the new rules, and there's a huge strategic advantage behind every single one. Think about it. Being famous for a few makes you a specialist, and specialists always command premium prices. Creating your own market means you're the one setting the rules. You're not in a price war. Giving away ideas builds insane trust and authority, so when people need the work done, they come to you. Setting your own rules, like having an application process, positions you as the prize. And this one is key. Making people signal interest first means you're only ever selling to a warm, receptive audience. And finally, being remarkable, that's what creates word of mouth, which is hands down the best marketing on the planet. All right, let's get to the engine of this blueprint. We've got the rules, now we need the process. And this is not about some one-off marketing trick. This is a repeatable, strategic, step-by-step method that you can run over and over again to make your business oversubscribed. This is the cycle, plain and simple. You start by knowing exactly how many clients you can truly delight. That's your capacity. No more, no less. Then you build anticipation. You release your offer in a way that creates real urgency. You follow up like a professional, and then you celebrate your wins and you learn from them to make the next round even better. Okay, so during that really critical build-up phase, your main goal is to create trust and desire at scale. And the 7-11-4 rule is a really powerful, practical way to think about how to actually get that done. This rule gives you a tangible target for all that pre-sale work. It basically says that your prospects need to spend about 7 hours with your content, see it in 11 different ways and in at least 4 separate places before they really know, like, and trust you enough to buy. So how do you do that? You create super valuable products for prospects, things like free reports, webinars, or workshops that warm up your market long before you ever ask for a single dollar. The real magic happens in that release phase. After you've collected all those signals of interest, you make the tension between demand and supply totally transparent. You don't just say you're popular, you show it. You say things like, we've had 250 people express interest, but we only have 25 slots available. That creates incredible urgency and powerful social proof all at once. Look, a system is only as good as its execution, right? This isn't just a plan you run one time. It has to become a set of consistent, trackable habits that get embedded right into your business's DNA. So let's look at what those behaviors actually are. This is your execution cheat sheet. You're running small, consistent campaigns every single week and then larger ones every quarter. You religiously track your sales rhythm with what's called LAPS. That's leads, appointments, presentations, and sales. This isn't just boring data. It's the very heartbeat of your sales process. It lets you predict your revenue. Then, every month, you audit your customer experience to find ways to make it even more remarkable. And after every single win, you capture those stories to fuel the next cycle. Okay, finally, let's talk about the guardrails, because avoiding these common traps is just as important as doing all the steps right. These are the absolute fastest ways to derail this entire process. Your ability to deliver a remarkable, amazing experience is your single most valuable asset. The temptation, when you get that rush of demand, is to try and sell to everyone. Don't do it. It just dilutes the quality for everybody. You have to protect your capacity at all costs, even if it means putting people on a waiting list. And by the way, that waiting list is a powerful asset in itself. Honestly, the power to be selective is the greatest reward you get from being oversubscribed. So you have to use it. Saying no to a client who isn't a perfect fit isn't losing a sale. It's strategically creating space for the right client to show up. It protects your energy, your team, and your entire brand. And that's the blueprint. When you boil it all down, it comes down to this one single crucial choice. Being oversubscribed isn't about getting everyone in the world to want you. It's about getting the right people lining up at your door. So the question I want to leave you with is this: who will you choose to be remarkable for? Because your focus, that's what determines your success. If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe, like, and build with us. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. We are doing this one book at a time. And remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So share this with them and grow together. Real progress becomes stronger when it is shared. Build your life one blueprint at a time. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you do.